In online mode, people can see me, right? And hear me as well.
Yes.
Thank you. Back in 2011, when I was in my final year of engineering, I got to know that TCS is going to come in our college for a campus placement thing. I was kind of excited and at the same time having a mixed feeling because I am from a mechanical background. So whether they are going to consider me for the interview or not, though it was a mixed feeling that TCS don't have the criteria whether they are going to choose only for the mechanical or the electrical or the CS. They call entire engineering students, whatever branch they are from. So I started preparing for my entrance exam because TCS took an entrance exam as well before going for the interview thing. I was preparing for that. But again, there was a fear in my mind that I don't know, because most likely interviewer is going to ask me that you being a mechanical background, why you want to join a software company. So this was a question that was there in my mind. Perhaps they're going to ask me. I appeared for the entrance exam and the result announced. I was shortlisted for my interview. After my GD group discussion, I appeared for the PI round, that is person interview. And I was observing that all the candidates who were of not of CS and IT background, after going in the interview room, they were coming very quickly from there. Again, the fear got reinforced in my mind that they are certainly asking the question, being a non-mechanical student, being a non-CS IT student, why you wanted to come in a software company? And perhaps the answers were not convincing enough, so they are coming so quickly from the interview room. I appeared. Same question was asked to me. Ashutosh, why you wanted to join a company like TCS, like software company, you being a mechanical student and you have already done some good stuff in a mechanical domain. I took participate in many of the robotics events in my college. Then I replied that Charles Babbage, he is one who is who? Father of computer. Great. Charles Babbage is a father of computer who was a mechanical engineer. Nandan Nilekani, we all know. He is founder of one of the founding members of Infosys. He is an electrical engineer. Yashan Kanetkar, we all have heard his name. And he is we know him for what reason? He has written a numerous books on C, and one of the most famous books is Letter C. And he have been given a Limca. His name is there in Limca Book of World Record also, because the kind of books he has written and the way he has represented himself as a knowledgeable person in C language. And Justin Kanetkar is a mechanical engineer. So rather than coming from a certain background, having a specific skill set or a knowledge, interest is something that prevails more as compared to educational background. So maybe I'm from a mechanical background, but I have a great interest in computers and IT thing. So I think I'm a perfect fit for your interview. After that, we had a long discussion that day, and I came out from interview room after half an hour. And at the evening, the result got announced. Any guesses whether I was shortlisted or not? Selected? Sorry, I was not. They rejected me. But that day, I got a lot of confidence in myself that because all the candidates who are not from not from CS and IT background, even they were rejected. They got rejected in 10 minutes, and I was there who survived there for half an hour. And right after that, TCS, another company came in my college placement, and that was a mechanical company, and I got selected over there also. So I wanted to, the reason why I shared this story to you all, that what I was doing in that interview. Any guesses? The top, huh? No. When I was giving my interview in front of TCS interviewers, so what I was doing over there, why I was able to survive for the little longer as compared to others. Okay, so I was doing a communication, effective communication. The topic of my today's speech is skill for life. And I personally feel it's been around more than a decade. I'm into project and program management. And no problem in our professional or personal life is there that can't be solved with a proper communication. On the back of communication, everything can be solved. You mark my word, everything can be solved. So, and this is something that we have also experienced in our life as well. If we are talking in a certain way, if we are having some great sense of our thought process, knowledge, and how we understand the audience as well, then definitely we are going to communicate in a certain way that we will be able to meet our objects, and by the time and the end of the day, it will be a kind of win-win situation. And so that had happened with me also, though I was not selected, but just because of my effective communication, I was able to sail through the entire process a little longer as compared to earlier. We all who are sitting over here have must done their 10th and 12th, right? Okay. So there was a mathematical calculation that we do in our classes. That take an example. That do we have pen, or so that I will use a whiteboard also. Uh, okay. Anyways, please help me with your mind games. So consider a case that for a wall we need to build a one wall, and to build that wall we require 10 laborers, and it is going to take 20 days. So 10 labor is required to build a wall in 20 days. So if we are increasing the number of laborers, it means from 10 to 20 laborers. So how many days is required to build the same wall? So earlier it was 20 days. So now it should be 10 days. So if I double the labor, so the time required is reduced. Okay. Again double the labor. So now 20, I labor are 40. So how many days? 5 days. So okay, again doubling the labor, 80 labors. How many days? 2.5 days. It means every time when I'm increasing the number of labors, we are observing that the time required to build the wall is getting reduced, because the per head accountability or per head work content on each labor is reduced, right? So will there be a condition that we put n number of labors so that every labor does not have to do anything? Is it possible? No, something has to be done, correct? Okay, you understood this, right? All of those understood. Okay, just park this idea here again. See, consider a case that I am very weak in mathematics. So what should I do? I will go for a math tuition, and I will learn how to solve math, and I'll write it in the exam. Okay. Again, I'm weak in English also. Then I will go for tuition, and I know what are the grammar uses, and I can write in the a piece of paper on, in my exam. So in whichever subject I'm weak, what is the method to overcome over that? To go for a tuition, right? But if I'm not able to communicate well, if I'm not able to deliver my ideas, if I'm not able to speak in a certain way, how it is approaching to the another member who is sitting or who is my audience, can a coaching will help me in this? If I hire a tutor that please made me good in public speaking, if I hire a tutor to please make me a good effective communicator, is it possible that can be via coaching or tuitions? Certainly not, because these are the skills of life, and these skills of life cannot be learned from the person who is going to hire from somewhere. The way the number of labors are going to increase, but it will never be possible that no labor has to do anything. Similarly, work has to be done. And when it is a matter of life skills, when it is a matter of public speaking, when it is a matter of effective communication, it is something that you have to practice on your own. Nobody from the outside world or nobody from the other agency is going to teach you and guide you. All is something that you have to practice in your only life. You have to practice every another day, whatever walk of life you are into, the to whomsoever you are meeting in everyday life. You have to be mindful on that idea, that what I'm speaking is effective enough. Is it I'm able to convince somebody who is listening to me? And if we so mindful on doing these activities, and every time we are on our toes in terms of delivering our thoughts, in terms of speaking our mind, then only we will become a good communicator. And when I say good communicator, it is most of the effective communicator thing. So for effective communication, we need to be practicing on those areas, because it is not something that can be taught by somebody.